Hi and welcome back. So this is where we start learning our sectional breathing, and we're going to start with what's called the diaphragmatic breath, and we're just going to start learning how to breathe into the lower lobes of the lungs. And the way that we do this, now I appreciate you'll probably have a little bump to show already, but let's start by getting seated in the way that you learned in the previous lesson. So I'm just going to take my flesh off my sits bones here, and I'm just gonna try and sit by drawing my belly button slightly up and in, and I'm gonna relax my shoulders back and down. And now I'm gonna start thinking about my breathing. And if I've never done this before, then a good way of gauging where you're breathing into is to use your hands. So we're just going to place our hands just at the very base of your rib cage. So you can feel that here, just that is where your diaphragm muscle is attached there on the inner ribs. So just the very base of the rib cage. So you can have a little feel on your own body, just palpate that. And then I'm going to place my hands just there at the base. But in order to figure out whether I'm actually breathing into there, I'm going to place them, I'm going to then slide them round and let my fingers touch. Now I'm just going to check in with myself again, and I'm just going to make sure that I haven't slouched and that I'm still sitting in a good position. And then I'm going to start by breathing in. Now we're going to breathe in now to a count of 3, because your bump is probably just up there near your lungs. And then when we're breathing out, we're actually going to breathe out to a count of 6. So we're going to breathe out twice as long as what we're breathing in. So let's have a little go at it. Oh, and we're breathing in through the nose, and we're going to breathe out through the nose as well to start us off here, okay? So now let's just all start with an inhale, and I'm going to inhale to 3 and I'm going to exhale to 6. I'm going to breathe in here now. So breathed in to 3. You can see that when I breathed in, my hands were moving apart, my fingers were moving apart, and now I'm going to breathe out to 6, so also through the nose. And we're going to do another few of those, and you feel free to do that in your own time. I'm going to give you a little count. So we're going to breathe in to 3. So we're going to breathe in 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to breathe out to 6, breathing out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to do some in your own time, and I'm not going to count this time, so you count in your mind's eye. And so we're going to start by breathing in, and it's really good idea to close the eyes there. So I'm just going to close mine. I'm going to do 1 breath cycle into my hands here. And another. And another. And I can already feel my central nervous system starting to calm down. Even though I'm in front of this camera talking to you, I can feel my body just relaxing. So the more you do this, the more relaxed you'll get with it. Now, initially, as I said before, it's good to practice it in your seated position so that you're upright. But whenever you're now getting a bit of practice, you can do this lying in the bathtub if you're having a nice bath, or before you just go to sleep, even lying on your side. But until you've learned that you're actually breathing into your lower lobes, and you know that your hands are moving there whenever you're breathing, and then, so sometimes that doesn't take long at all. So this could be 1 or 2 days of using this technique, aiming for 10 breaths every day, and then moving on to the next video where we learn to breathe into this part of the lungs. So I'll see you there.